how's the market for early to mid-level designers with 2 to 3 years of experience?
Yeah, I think
I just tackle this one.
I just got someone a job with that amount of experience this week.
Hey, good.
Yeah, I think it's there, but I think you've got to have, and what can help is to have a bit of an edge, some expertise, of those 2 to 3 years. What's the quality of that? What have you maybe done? What have you worked on? What's really helpful? What's really specific? Is there something in those 2 to 3 years that you can leverage? Because that 2 to 3 years in a particular function that you've solved for, or working on a product and have done a really quality piece of work, sometimes that can mean more than 5 to 6 years, a bit all over the shop, freelancing here, it's not just the years, but it's sometimes the quality of work. So yeah, even as a mid-level, maybe it's called straight product designer, or just straight UX designer or something like that, I think there is still a need for those designers in teams, but I think they want to see that there's some sort of little standout piece of your experience, some sort of edge that you've got that gives them some confidence to put you in the ring,
Yeah, it's probably a lot of autonomy, ambiguity, especially in a startup, taking initiative to lead a project. Yeah, I agree.
Maybe you can compete on salary at times too. If it is an earlier stage company that doesn't have the budget, maybe for someone with more years of experience, for example, you could bring some expertise to them and be in the budget and still give them a really good use case.
Yeah, so, you network through it and get something new on your portfolio, right? Mm-hmm. I think that these roles are coming out again. Yeah. There is still an emphasis on senior stuff. Obviously, the last 2-ish years, we had a pretty big exodus of leadership and principal and staff. So I'm definitely seeing more staff, more principal types of roles. But I think, they have to hire those first before they can hire maybe the more junior people, so that they can be mentors and manage down and sort of maybe not have direct reports, but at least the responsibilities of working and growing with them. So I do think it's coming. And as I've said before, when you look at a careers page and you see that other departments, sales are firing off all across the country, and marketing and all these roles, engineers, designers, that will come too.
It's just around the corner.
It's just around the corner. And there's always somehow more engineers than designers, I guess. That's the ratio that we've dealt with.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. We actually just placed 2 mid-level product designers at the same company in the last month as well.
Wow.
So there definitely is a market for mid-levels. I would say the overarching feedback that we got about those mid-levels interview processes, which might be helpful for you fellow mid-levelers out there, mid-weights, as they say in the UK, is if there's a presentation round, which often there is, where maybe you're walking through a case study or two and you're presenting to a larger team, that I would recommend trying to not just read your slides. I mean, I know it's a nerve-wracking situation. You want to make sure you're not forgetting anything. And the company said, both of the candidates were good presenters. It wasn't that they weren't good presenters, but a little bit maybe relying on reading off of the script, as opposed to off-roading a little bit and making it feel more organic. And they're look, these are mid-level people. They don't have to be amazing presenters at this point in their career, but we just want to see that the seeds are there, that, we think that they could be a good presenter, because you're going to be doing more and more of that the higher you go within a company. So I think just to keep it a little more organic, maybe don't write everything out. Maybe it's just 1 or 2 key phrases that you remember what that means and you can speak about it. Making sure to also just really make sure that your time, if you have 40 minutes to make your presentation, just make sure you're fit, you're practicing out loud before you do it. Just to, be in muscle memory of how it feels. That'll, a good prepared person, that'll make you less nervous when it actually comes time to showtime. But also how you manage your time during the presentation is also a really good reflection of of your skill level. So if you don't feel rushed at the end, you're oh, I didn't get to these key points, that could come across as a little more junior than maybe you want to be.